नमस्कार, अभिवादन, अभिनंदन एवं सभी को मेरा प्रणाम। संस्कार मूल्यों के महायज्ञ की इस महायात्रा में हेमा फाउंडेशन की ओर से मैं अनीता सुशील माहेश्वरी, ट्रस्टी एवं क्रिएटिव डायरेक्टर, अभय, जिज्ञासा एवं प्रकृति प्रेम की अपार सफलता के बाद चतुर्थ मानवीय मूल्य आत्मविश्वास की इस तीसरी एवं आखिरी कड़ी में आप सभी गणमान्य अतिथियों का, सभी शिक्षाविदों का एवं सभी जिज्ञासुओं का हृदय के अंतःस्थल से हार्दिक स्वागत करती हूँ, अभिनंदन करती हूँ एवं सानुभिनंदन करती हूँ। जैसा कि आप सभी जानते हैं कि हेमा फाउंडेशन भारतीय नैतिक मूल्यों को संपूर्ण राष्ट्र में ले जाने के लिए आरआर ग्लोबल की एक परोपकारी इकाई है। पिछले 5 वर्षों में देश के 19 राज्यों, लगभग 110 शहरों एवं हजारों शिक्षण संस्थाओं के लाखों छात्र छात्राओं के माध्यम से नैतिक मूल्यों की स्थापना के लिए हम सब प्रयासरत हैं। हेमा फाउंडेशन के अंतर्गत हेम वर्चूज अ लर्निंग रेवोल्यूशन, जिसके माध्यम से आप सभी जुड़े हुए हैं, एक क्रांतिकारी वेब पोर्टल है और इस वेब पोर्टल की परिकल्पना का आधार भी सबके समक्ष नैतिक मूल्यों को एवं शिक्षा का समग्र रूप प्रस्तुत करना था। 1 अगस्त को प्रारंभ हुए इस वेब पोर्टल ने इतने कम समय में ही संपूर्ण देश में अपना स्थान स्थापित कर लिया है और आप सभी के अपेक्षित सहयोग से अब तक हमारे साथ 2,08,075 स्टूडेंट, 3,370 टीचर्स एवं 2,600 स्कूल्स जुड़ चुके हैं और हेम वर्चूज की गतिविधियों में बिल्कुल सक्रियता से सहभागी हो रहे हैं। इससे पहले कि संस्कारों के महायज्ञ की इस महायात्रा को हम आगे बढ़ाएं, आपको आज जूम वेबिनार में जिन गणमान्य अतिथिगणों एवं शिक्षाविदों की उपस्थिति है, उन सभी के परिचय से आपको परिचित कराते हैं। सर्वप्रथम हमारे आज के वेबिनार की मुख्य अतिथि हैं आदरणीय श्रीमती सिमी शर्मा जी। आप शिक्षा के एप्लीकेबल एस्पेक्ट पर देश में एक जाना पहचाना नाम है और आप श्री की गौरवमयी उपस्थिति को हम प्रणाम करते हैं। वेलकम सिमी मैम।
Thank you so much, Anita ji. I'm so happy to be here today. Thank you so much.
हमारे आज के वेबिनार के विशिष्ट अतिथि हैं शिक्षा जगत में एक परफेक्ट एजुकेशनिस्ट के नाम से जाने जाने वाले आदरणीय डॉक्टर सुरेश नायर जी। आप श्री की गौरवमयी उपस्थिति को हम प्रणाम करते हैं सर। वेलकम सर।
थैंक यू मैडम।
हमारे आज के वेबिनार की प्रमुख वक्ता जानी मानी शिक्षाविद, जिन्हें 40 वर्षों का समृद्ध अनुभव है, हेमा फाउंडेशन की एसोसिएट एकेडमिक डायरेक्टर आदरणीय डॉक्टर विजयम रवि मैम और मेरी प्यारी अम्मा।
नमस्ते अनीता।
भारतीय नैतिक मूल्यों को अपने जीवन में आत्मसात कर जीवन जीने वाले और हम सभी के आधार स्तंभ परम आदरणीय हमारे बापूजी पद्मश्री श्री रामेश्वर लाल जी काबरा। हम सभी के प्रेरणा स्रोत एवं मार्गदर्शक हेमा फाउंडेशन के प्रबंध न्यासी आदरणीय श्री महेंद्र जी काबरा।
नमस्कार, आप सभी का स्वागत है। धन्यवाद।
हमारे देश के ख्याति नाम मनोवैज्ञानिक, मनोचिकित्सक, फीलिंग माइंड्स की निर्देशिका, कोच, टेडेक्स स्पीकर, हेमा फाउंडेशन की सलाहकार निदेशिका आदरणीय डॉक्टर चीनू जी अग्रवाल। स्वागत है मैम।
नमस्कार।
समाज के विभिन्न क्षेत्रों के सेवा उपक्रमों में अपनी सेवाएं देने में सदा अग्रणी एक उत्कृष्ट सामाजिक संस्था इंडियन डेवलपमेंट फाउंडेशन IDF के CEO आदरणीय डॉक्टर नारायण AB अय्यर। वेलकम नारायण सर। आदरणीय श्री डॉक्टर राकेश जी सोमानी, आप नवी मुंबई की DY पाटिल यूनिवर्सिटी स्कूल ऑफ फार्मेसी के प्रिंसिपल हैं। वेलकम सर।
थैंक यू सो मच। It's my pleasure to be here on this platform. Thank you.
आदरणीय श्रीमती अगाथा सुशीला डायस, आप आमचा घर अनाथ आश्रम और आमचा घर हाई स्कूल एवं जूनियर कॉलेज की संस्थापक एवं निदेशक है। वेलकम अगाथा मैम। आदरणीय श्रीमती प्रियंका अनिल राजानी जी, आप विद्यानिधि हाई स्कूल और जूनियर कॉलेज ऑफ साइंस की प्रिंसिपल है। वेलकम प्रियंका मैम। आदरणीय श्रीमती सीमा सबलोक जी, आप एसएम शेट्टी हाई स्कूल और जूनियर कॉलेज पवई मुंबई की प्रिंसिपल हैं। वेलकम मैम। आदरणीय डॉक्टर राजन फिलिप जी, आप एक उत्कृष्ट शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ हैदराबाद के स्वामी नारायण गुरुकुल के प्रिंसिपल हैं। आदरणीय डॉक्टर राजन फिलिप जी, वेलकम सर। आदरणीय श्रीमती स्वाति होलमुखे जी, आप शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ मुंबई की छत्रपति शिवाजी विद्यालय की प्रिंसिपल हैं। वेलकम मैम।
थैंक यू सो मच।
आदरणीय श्री यशोदास एल जी, जाने माने शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ बेंगलोर स्थित बीजीएस वर्ड स्कूल के आप प्रिंसिपल हैं। आदरणीय यशोदास एल जी। आदरणीय श्रीमती धर्मिष्ठा गेड़िया जी, आप मुंबई की गोकालीबाई पूनमचंद पीताम्बर जीपीपी हाई स्कूल एवं एएपीपी आचार्य अंबालाल बी पटेल जूनियर कॉलेज की प्रिंसिपल हैं। वेलकम मैम। आदरणीय श्रीमती ज्योति पचौरी जी, आप शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ उत्तर प्रदेश के गाजियाबाद की ज्ञान ज्योति अकादमी की प्रिंसिपल हैं। ज्योति। आदरणीय श्री संदीप मैसे जी, आप शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में कई वर्षों के समृद्ध अनुभव होने के साथ गाजियाबाद की सेंट स्टीफन स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल हैं। श्री संदीप मैसे जी। आदरणीय हाफिजा भामजी जी, शिक्षा जगत में एक जाना पहचाना नाम के साथ साथ आप मुंबई के दहीसर की यूनिवर्सल हाई स्कूल के प्रिंसिपल हैं। हाफिजा भामजी। आदरणीय प्रोफेसर श्री सुरेश पिल्लई जी, एक उत्कृष्ट शिक्षाविद होने के साथ साथ आप विवेक जूनियर कॉलेज के वाइस प्रिंसिपल हैं और अंग्रेजी विभाग के आप प्रोफेसर हैं। वेलकम सर। आदरणीय श्री सुनील पटेल जी, आप गोरेगांव की प्रज्ञा बोधिनी हाई स्कूल के हेडमास्टर हैं। वेलकम सर। आदरणीय श्री विजय कुमार शर्मा जी, आप बुधरो की ढाणी नोखा बीकानेर की गवर्नमेंट अपर प्राइमरी स्कूल के हेडमास्टर हैं। वेलकम सर। आदरणीय उर्विशा पोरिया जी, आप बोरीवली मुंबई की श्री श्री रविशंकर विद्या मंदिर की विशेष शिक्षिका हैं एवं ऊर्जा काउंसलिंग और रेमेडियल सेंटर की उपराचात्मक शिक्षिका भी हैं। वेलकम मैम। आदरणीय श्री सतीश जी साबू, आप गीता परिवार औरंगाबाद जिले के संपर्क प्रमुख हैं। आप मराठवाड़ा पैकेजिंग प्राइवेट लिमिटेड एवं मां राणाबाई इंडस्ट्रीज के निदेशक हैं। आपने 110 स्कूलों के साथ 125 करोड़ सूर्य नमस्कार का सफलतापूर्वक आयोजन किया है। वेलकम सर।
धन्यवाद।
जाने माने शिक्षाविद एवं शोधकर्ता, हेमा फाउंडेशन के एकेडमिक डायरेक्टर Dr. Nagpal Singh.
Welcome to all of you on Hema Foundation and thank you very much Anita ji. So nice of you.
आदरणीय ऋचा कुमार जी, शिक्षा एवं सेवा कार्यों में जाना पहचाना नाम, आप दिशाबोध नाइट अध्ययन केंद्र एनजीओ के साथ जुड़ी हुई हैं। हेम वर्चूज अ लर्निंग रेवोल्यूशन में वेदों के गूढ़तम ज्ञान को सरलता एवं वैज्ञानिक तरीके से समझाने वाले वेदों के परम ज्ञानी वेदाचार्य श्री बालकृष्ण दवे जी, आपका स्वागत है दवे जी। हेमा फाउंडेशन गुजरात के अध्यक्ष एवं जाने माने वास्तु विशेषज्ञ आदरणीय श्री वीरेंद्र भाई पांचाल जी, हेमा फाउंडेशन के एसोसिएट डायरेक्टर एवं अपॉर्चुनिटीज अनलिमिटेड के क्रिएटर आदरणीय श्री राजीव भार्गव जी, हेमा फाउंडेशन गुजरात के उपाध्यक्ष डॉक्टर एनजी शाह, सार्वजनिक हाई स्कूल बड़ोदरा के प्रिंसिपल, टेक्स्ट बुक राइटर फॉर सेकेंडरी एजुकेशन गुजरात आदरणीय श्री तेजस जे त्रिवेदी जी, हेमा फाउंडेशन पूना के अध्यक्ष श्री अतुल भैया सालाग्रे,
Not here.
हेमा फाउंडेशन की एसोसिएट डायरेक्टर एवं क्लोन फ्यूचरा की सीईओ श्रीमती विदुषी डागा, हेमा फाउंडेशन की एसोसिएट डायरेक्टर श्रीमती हेतल देसाई,
Good evening, everyone.
हेमा फाउंडेशन वेस्टर्न मुंबई जोन की कोऑर्डिनेटर श्रीमती अनुभा डागा, हेमा फाउंडेशन महाराष्ट्र सह सचिव श्री धीरज सोनार, हेमा फाउंडेशन आईटी हेड श्री अरविंद पांडे,
Namaste, madam.
और अंत में मैं स्वयं अनीता सुशील माहेश्वरी, ट्रस्टी एवं क्रिएटिव डायरेक्टर हेमा फाउंडेशन। तो ये थे हमारे आज के गणमान्य अतिथिगण। और आइए अब हम बात करते हैं आज के वेबिनार की, जिसका विषय है आत्मविश्वास से जीतना। आत्मविश्वास जीवन की सफलता का सबसे बड़ा रहस्य है। आत्मविश्वास का अर्थ है अपनी शक्तियों एवं योग्यताओं पर विश्वास और खुद पर भरोसा होना। यदि खुद पर विश्वास ना हो तो हमें रस्सी भी सांप नजर आने लगती है। अमेरिका के प्रसिद्ध लेखक ऑरिस स्वेट मार्डन का कहना था कि सफलता किसी पेड़ पर नहीं लगती जिसे जब चाहा तोड़ लिया, बल्कि यह जीवन की सबसे आनंददायक चीज है जिसे सिर्फ आत्मविश्वास के द्वारा ही हासिल किया जा सकता है। ठीक उसी तरह जीवन और उसके उद्देश्यों में शिक्षा की परिभाषा का विश्लेषण सदियों से जारी है। जीवन और सफलता पर अनेक महानुभूतियों ने अपने विचार प्रकट किए हैं। अनेक विचारधाराओं एवं मार्गदर्शन से यह परिभाषा की यात्रा गुजरी है। अरस्तु से लेकर हेडगेवार तक, वेदों से लेकर मोटिवेशनल सेमिनार तक, मान्यताओं से लेकर विज्ञान तक और वेदों की सूक्ष्म सूक्तियों से लेकर गणित के सूत्रों तक की यात्रा में यदि जीवन को ढूंढने का प्रयास करेंगे तो पाएंगे कि सफलता की परिभाषा में सबसे कॉमन शब्द है प्रसन्नता, खुशहाली। और प्रसन्नता इंगित करती है आपकी जीत को, आपकी प्राप्ति को, आपकी उपलब्धि को। जी हाँ, हम सभी की संयुक्त विजय को और आज की इस सफल विजय की ओर हमें लेकर चलेगी हमारी आज की प्रमुख वक्ता, हेमा फाउंडेशन की एकेडमिक डायरेक्टर, एसोसिएट एकेडमिक डायरेक्टर डॉक्टर विजयम रवि मैम। और आपको मैं आमंत्रित करूंगी इन पंक्तियों के साथ कि अपनी जिंदगी में एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं, अपनी जिंदगी में एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं, लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना चाहती हूं मैं जानती हूं कि रास्ते में खतरे तो बहुत हैं, लेकिन हर खतरे का सामना करना चाहती हूं मैं, क्योंकि लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना चाहती हूं मैं। शायद निराश हूं आज बहुत मैं, पर एक दिन खुशी से उछलना चाहती हूं मैं। अपने उस मुस्कुराते हुए चेहरे को फिर से मुस्कुराते हुए देखना चाहती हूं मैं। लाइफ में आगे बढ़ना चाहती हूं मैं, एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं। अपने सारे सपनों में पंख लगाकर आसमान में ऊंचा उड़ना चाहती हूं मैं। हर एक सपने को अपनी आंखों से पूरा होते हुए देखना चाहती हूं मैं। एक ऊंची उड़ान भरना चाहती हूं मैं। कैसा लगता है उस नीले आसमान में उड़ना, उड़कर महसूस करना चाहती हूं मैं। एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं। उस सफलता के शिखर को उठकर चूमना चाहती हूं मैं। हजारों चेहरों की मुस्कुराहट को एक साथ महसूस करना चाहती हूं मैं, और उन हजारों मुस्कुराते हुए चेहरों का एक कारण बनना चाहती हूं मैं। उस नीले आसमान के नीचे पंख फैलाकर उड़ना चाहती हूं मैं। एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं, एक ऊंची उड़ान चाहती हूं मैं। तो आमंत्रित करती हूं मैं डॉक्टर विजयम रवि मैम को।
Namaste. Namaste to all of you. Thank you so much. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Namaste and good evening to each one of you. Anita, thank you so much. Brilliant. I feel like flying. I want to fly.
So much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. It is a pleasure and a privilege to be on this platform. Namaskar to all the elders in the group, and my pranams to all the office bearers of Hema Foundation, my very, very beloved principals and teachers who are present there, the parents and managements who are there watching this, and my great, great, great respects and pranams to Simi Madam and Dr. Suresh for accepting this invitation and being here. They are brilliant and great people, and it is my privilege to have them here on this platform. Hem Virtues is a platform which has been functional for quite some time now, reaching out to students and teachers. And by this time, several students and teachers have benefited from that. And I must thank Hema Foundation and its trustees to think about such a wonderful activity. And I am having that proud privilege of being associated with Hema Foundation. At the very outset, let me wish you all a very happy Navratri, the 5th day of Navratri. Goddess be with each one of you, strength be with each one of you to face the pandemic and the aftermath of it, and all your difficulties be dissipated just like that. May God bless each one of you. I am Vijayam Ravi from Mumbai, the most happening city of this country, and I am a proud Mumbaikar. Yes, I am here today to speak with you about how a teacher can link the value of self-confidence. Anita was mentioning quite a bit about it, how that wonderful value can be linked while you teach various subjects. I have taken particularly 3 subjects, namely science, math, and English. Certain topics also I have taken, and we will be discussing that. But before we go into the real crux of the matter, I would want Vidushi to do just my first opinion poll before we even start. Yes, you have it here. Lack of encouragement brings down self-confidence.
All right, everybody. So there is a screen right in front of you. And the
Yes.
poll, yes, just if you can quickly click on any one option. Lack of encouragement brings down self-confidence. And now the poll ends in 5, 4, 3, 2, end polling. So Dr. Ravi Vijayam, the
Yes.
results are obvious.
Obvious. So that justifies our program today. I'm so glad that you answered like that. It makes my job easier. Now, before we go to the first topic, would be first subject that I would be taking would be science. But before that, I want to say a few things about students. Since I had been a teacher all along, I wish to be called as a teacher even now. I know that most of the students, they go back or withdraw themselves because they lack this self-confidence. The Atma Vishwas, what we are calling it, it is just not there due to several reasons, okay? So they withdraw or they become very, very fearful about facing a real situation, and they end up as a misery or a failure. This is very, very true. Humiliations could be one reason. The external support may not be another reason. Several reasons are there. I want to start this program today by sharing with you a very, very personal incident that happened with me in my life when I was a student. And this is very important for the teachers who are listening to me now. I belonged to a very remote village of Kerala and studied in a government school in total Malayalam medium. Started doing English alphabets in 6th standard. Not even able to write a proper sentence or even speak something in English because the medium of instruction was Malayalam. And those times, that was the only thing available. Private schools were not there, government schools only were there. I'm talking about the 1960s. So, but then I was a good student, rather a good student. In 10th standard, I scored very good marks. And those times it was pre-degree, 2 years of degree college. So we got admission into one of the most reputed college in Thrissur. And 80 students were there in the first group. I took math, physics, chemistry group. And 80 students were there. Almost 75 to 76 students were from those convent schools and highly, you call that higher society students. And I am a very, very village type of a village girl, the daughter of a farmer. Okay. And I knew only Malayalam to talk, no English at all. So I had basically no friends that way in the class, and they all looked down on me. It so happened that the so the problem with me was the medium of instruction was English. So physics, chemistry, biology, physics, chemistry, math, everything was taught in English. So my problem was that I have to learn first English. Then in my mind, I have to translate it into the language which I understand and then understand the concept. It was so very confusing for me at that point in time. The first physics examination happened after 3 months of my joining there. And out of 60, I got only 17. First time I failed in physics. It had never happened in my life. What happened? That is okay. Failure is perfectly fine. But what followed later, soon after this distribution of mark sheets was given, the professor of that class made me stand up. And she spoke to me few sentences. Even today, it is there in my mind. And today I am thankful to her for what she did. Though during that time, I was almost into tears. She asked a simple question in Malayalam, which I translate for you. Why are you coming here? You people are only fit to produce children. This was the comment given to me. Tears were about to roll both the corners of my eyes, but I was a very bold girl. I did not, but I replied to the teacher. I said, you wait and watch. That also in Malayalam, not English. I told her, you wait and watch. When I walk out of this college portal after 2 years, I would be the first scorer in physics. I would score the highest. You wait and watch. I came back home. I cried on the shoulders of my father. He was my good friend. He's a highly educated person. He just laughed. He told me one sentence. Cowards die many a times, but the brave only once. He told me that. And you are my daughter. You know how to handle it. Just get going. Don't worry about it. You know how to handle it. I don't have to teach you. Go ahead. So I decided my first crossroad, where I am at the crossroad, my hurdle is to learn English, to understand English. And then only these subjects are going to be mine. Otherwise, I'm not bad in physics or chemistry or math. This English was giving me the trouble. And I worked so hard. I did all that I could do. And I managed by the end of the second year, as promised, out of 60, I scored 57 and stood first in the college and walked out right royally. This I wanted to say, not that I was great, but I wanted to say there are hundreds of students out there in normal classrooms who are not able to speak English, but they are good with their own mother tongue and they are not able to convey what they wanted to say. It is considered as a kind of a, I don't know, inability or something like that. So my very dear teachers, two things here. One, the humiliation by the teacher can work two ways. It is a double-edged sword. People can take, like me, it can be taken as a challenge. There are some other students who will take it as other thing and they will withdraw, they will never come up. So teachers, as teachers, we have great responsibilities to respect the students and encourage the children to reach wherever they want. Today, I do speak fairly good English, not bad. I must thank that teacher who insulted me on that particular day. Now, coming back to our subject, NEP, National Education Policy, very clearly, very clearly is talking about induction of values into children and also 21st century skills. There, they are specifically talking about self-confidence and self-management. And this topic is so very well connected with both and so very appropriate for the situation. And thank you very much. Now let's get back to science. I would want Vidushi to open up the PPT, please. Yes, you can win. You can become what you really wish to be if you start believing in your own self. Yes. Next, please. You know, few facts which we all know, I'll just quickly run through it. Students need encouragement and self-confidence to succeed. Absolutely, they need encouragement from you teachers. External influences, comments, actions, events, insults, sometimes pose as reasons for one losing the self-confidence. And my very dear teachers, you should not be one of those reasons, henceforth at least. Mistakes knowingly or inadvertently committed may drain you of all your positivity and enthusiasm. Loss of people, friendship, relation, failure to do certain things may drive you crazy and lose your confidence. Courage boosts self-confidence. But the soothing message is that you can become what you want to if you choose to do so. Choice is yours. When you bend, pick up something. Thank you. Let's go to the next one. Wait a minute. Just a minute, Vidushi, just a minute. Here, the topic that I have taken is distance and displacement. It is a topic in physics. And this topic is, I think it is in the 6th or 7th standard. It is there. You have to study it in the NCERT syllabus. You have it. And distance, we all know about it. There's nothing great about it. And there is a minor difference between distance and displacement. When a person moves from a point A to point B, the length traveled in kilometers or meters or whatever measure, that is called distance. On the contrary, if a person is moving from A to B towards a particular direction, then that becomes displacement. Let us see the video and then I will come back to you. Vidushi, please.
In this video, we're going to talk about the difference between distance and displacement. If this car moved from point A to point B, we could say it traveled a total distance of 100 meters.
Vidushi, we can't
This is the
see.
measurement of the length between.
What happened? Oh,
Abhi, you could not see the video?
No.
Yes, ma'am. We are not able to see.
I can see it.
Yeah, the video was on. I'll play it again.
yeah.
We were able
Video
to
was
see.
on.
Okay.
Between distance and displacement. If this car moved from point A to point B, we could say it traveled a total distance of 100 meters. Distance is a measurement of the length between 2 points. Now let's go back to this example and add another road sign here. Let's bring this one in so we have a direction. Now if the car again traveled from point A to point B, we could say that it traveled a distance of 100 meters, but we can add in another part of this measurement. We could say it traveled 100 meters to the east. And this is actually a displacement rather than a distance. The difference is that we're including a direction this time around. Now the definition for displacement is the overall change in position. So we're looking at a starting position comparing it to a finishing position. And then the other big difference here is that displacement is going to include a direction. Now, displacement includes a direction, and so we call this measurement a vector. And so measurements that include directions are called vectors. Distance doesn't include a direction, and so it's called a scalar. Let's add another road sign here in our example. So if we add this extra midpoint here, road sign, we'll bring our car back to the point A, and if the car travels from point A to point B, and then just backs up here to the center here, let's see how far it traveled. Now it's traveled a distance there from point A to point B of 100 meters, and then it traveled an additional 50 meters for a total distance of 150 meters. Now, if we look at its displacement, however, we're comparing its starting position, which was right here, to its finishing position, which is right here. And so its total displacement would be 50 meters to the east. In other words, it's 50 meters east of where it started, which was right here. Let's look at another example here. If you've ever run track and field, you may have had the chance to run the 400-meter race. The 400-meter race is one lap around the track and for a total distance of 400 meters. Now, what would the displacement be? Well, if we compare your starting position right here to your ending position right here, we would say that your total displacement was 0 meters. And it's almost like if you were running the race and all the fans just shut their eyes as soon as the gun went off and then opened them again when it was all over, and it looks like you're in the exact same location.
That's it. So we have seen distance and displacement here. Now you teachers will be teaching this in the class. How do you think this can be related to life and self-confidence? A question will seriously come up your mind. I can tell you like this. Any journey, see our journey, life journey, which we call, what is that? From the zygote in mother's womb, we grow into an embryo, the zygote gets into an embryo form, and then slowly after 9.5 months, it comes out as a little baby, infant, a child, and then a small boy or girl, then a teenager, an adolescent, then a young man or woman, and then middle age, then old age. The growth itself has a direction. The growth has a purpose. It has a purpose to grow. Like Aristotle says, there is an urge in everyone to grow. So this journey has a direction. Now, every day morning we wake up with a purpose. We have a job to do. We go to work. We do business. We do go to school. We do teach. We meet people. We visit countries. We go on a pleasure. Everything what you do is with a purpose, a goal. So the message that you can give out of this is, if there is a direction, if there is a purpose in whatever you are doing, then there is a self-confidence. Why there is a self-confidence? Because if there is a purpose, you will employ all the skills that you have, all the methods and the processes that you can to achieve where you want it. So the message what the teachers can give to the children out of this is that the vector quantity, which is displacement, has always got a direction. Like that, the students should always have a goal, a focus, a direction to go. And you as teachers can always promote the children how to go there. You can always help them to reach there. So that is a significant message that distance and displacement is giving you. So that you can tell the students and link this value. Let us now come to mathematics. Now, mathematics, I have taken here addition of fractions. And there are fractions with like denominators, and there are fractions with unlike denominators. Now, fractions are numbers. You have a number on top of it, that is called the numerator. You have a number which is down, which is called the denominator. In between you have a slash, and this is what is called as a fraction. Your children study this in class 5 or 6, I'm sure about it. So what happens is that if the numerators could be anything, but if the denominators are the same, then fraction, addition of fraction is rather easy. But if the denominator happens to be different, then let us see how the addition takes place. Okay, Vidushi, can we go to that link, please?
Adding fractions with different denominators. Last time, when we added fractions that have a common denominator, we learned that we keep the denominator and just add the numerators. That's easy enough. This time, we'll add these fractions with different denominators. Here's a diagram to represent each fraction. And you can see that if we add these together using the diagrams, this is what we get. 1, 2, 3 quarters. Let's save that up here on a note. We can also add these fractions without using diagrams. The first step is to make it easy for ourselves. It's easy to add fractions that have the same denominator, so we make it easy by creating a common denominator for these fractions. You've seen me do that before, you've done it yourself, you know what to do. We've got denominators of 4 and 2. Our common denominator is going to be 4. To get a denominator of 4 here, we multiply by 2. So we do the same to the numerator, and that's 2 over 4. Now it's very easy. We just add the numerators. 1 plus 2 is 3. Keep the denominator and we're all done. 3 quarters, just like you saw when we did this problem using the diagrams. You can see we don't have to use a diagram. We can make a common denominator instead. That's easy enough, isn't it? Let's do a couple more to make sure you're okay with this. And obviously, there will be a bit more thinking in each of these because I don't want you falling asleep if you think it's too easy. First, we look at the denominators. We've got 2, 3 and 6. If you know your tables, you'll spot that 2 and 3 are both factors of 6. So 6 is the lowest common denominator. 5/6 stays as it is. For 2/3, to get a denominator of 6, I multiply 3 by 2. So I multiply the numerator by 2, and that's 4 over 6. For 1/2, to get a denominator of 6, I multiply the 2 by 3. So I multiply the numerator by 3. 3 over 6. I can write my answer's denominator straight away. Our final fraction will be something over 6. And now we just have to add the numerators. 5 plus 4, that's 9, plus 3, that gives us 12 over 6. That is an improper fraction, and we can't leave it like that. So we have 12 divided by 6. How many 6s are there in 12? There's 2 lots of 6 in 12. There's no remainder, so there's no fractional parts to show. Our answer is just 2.
That's it. We have seen it. There are a few other examples also, but this is enough for us right now. Here we saw, addition as such means joining hands together, making something together. How is this learning of fraction with a similar denominator and a dissimilar denominator? How does it relate to life? You may think about it. Let me give you the example how, as a teacher, I would do it. See, when you go to school, I'm talking about students and even adults for that matter, we all find it easy to make friends if the other person has similar characteristics, isn't it? Certain people, when we look at them itself, we don't like. some kind of an aversion happens and we withdraw. But mostly we look for some people who have similar characteristics like us, similar behavior pattern like us. We easily make friends. This I am relating it to denominators which are like denominators, similar denominators. Very easily the addition could take place. Like 2 by 8 and 3 by 8 is equal to 5 by 8. The 8 is common. We are different fractions with numerators, but then the denominator is the common platform. A common platform, Aya, so we become good friends. Addition happened. Our influence also added into the team. The team became strong. It is not so easy that always we get to go with people who are of our taste. There are number of people in an organization, a school or a classroom or a business house whom we may not even get along with. But necessities make it happen that we work with them. How do we do it? Can we say that I don't want to work here, I'm running away? No. We have to still make a team. Teams are allotted by organizations. You do this, and in that team, if 10 members are there, 7 of them will go together, 2 of them will not go together. Can we say that these 2 members have to be kept out of our team? No, it's not possible for a business to run like that, a class to run like that. The teams in the class also cannot work like that. So what should we do? There, in the fractions you saw, they were making an LCD, least common denominator. You know, they were doing that LC factor. They were doing LCF or LCD, whatever you call it. A common platform was made. Okay, and that common platform, the fractions were all put together to come closer to each other, realize what is common for them, and then they were all put together. Like that, in life also, when we get into a team, when we do not have people of our taste, still we can work with them. How? If we are able to find out the common platform, the LCF in all of them, and consider only that and put them all together. The team is important, the organization is important, then we can add together and we can get along very well. I tell you one small thing which I had been doing it for all along, wherever I go for teacher training programs. I've been telling the school managements and school principals one thing which the school managements are not doing today, are not teaching the children at all, is perception management. We are not teaching the children on perception management. Our children get the best scores in examinations and colleges and all that, and they take up job elsewhere outside. And when they go abroad and when they start working there, first 3-4 months is so tough for our kids. Why? Because they are not able to perceive things well. We will be thinking certain programs will be very good. With great enthusiasm, our children go and talk to their bosses, and their bosses will be saying, interesting. That interesting has no meaning at all. Interesting means they are not at all interested. Our children are not able to perceive anything. The bosses do not wait there to give these people the clear-cut clarity. Job responsibilities are not given. Jobs are given. Do it. Do or die. And the situation is so ambiguous, so uncertain and unfamiliar. Our children will have to figure out how to get along there. I request Haath Jodkar to all the principals sitting here that please do teach your children perception management through that self-management. The National Education Policy is highlighting on self-management skills as one of the most important skills, because otherwise the children will lose their confidence and they will end up as a failure. This is my request to the teachers and school managements to do. Let us now come to the last one, which is English. English, there is a topic called process approach in writing. It is a topic in English in 10th standard. Prose's approach in writing. It talks about the ways and means to write an examination, how an examination can be written, or even how a writing can be done. Now, this is something, if not writing exactly, it is a kind of a problem solving, according to me. When I look at this English topic, this is how it goes. Vidushi, let us, before we go into it, let us see the opinion poll. One second. The opinion poll, let us take the second one and the third one also together.
All right. So the question is, realizing self-worth, self-esteem is the beginning of gaining self-confidence. Do you agree? Yes or no? Come on, participants. It's just any one that you have to click. Lovely.
Good, 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 good.
Okay.
So,
5, 4, 3, 2, I'm end polling. So, Dr. Vijayam.
Majority. Yeah.
Yes, 98%, almost everyone.
I think I'm giving you a simple question, I suppose. Everybody knows it, but that is my purpose, that all of you should agree with me before going home today. That's the point. The next one also, please. Let us see that.
Okay, so the last one is getting to work with difficult and different people also needs self-confidence. Do you agree, do not agree, or do not know? Okay, end polling in 5, 4, 3, 2. Perfect. So Dr.
Wow.
Vijayam,
Yeah.
again, 98% of the people, all our participants agree.
I am so glad, thanks to you, all of you agree with me. So the job is done. Actually, the purpose is done already today. It is very important that to work with very difficult people, and believe me, life has all difficult people around us. All difficult people. It is not always everybody is the same. To work with them, you really need self-confidence. You should not give up your Atma Vishwas, Atma Dhairya. Okay, that's the point. The process writing, when we talk about English, can you take that, Vidushi, the PPT, please? Yes.
Dr. Vijayam, you want the PPT or the video?
Yes,
please?
yes, PPT, please. PPT. PPT, no, yes. Process approach in writing, and now the video, please. Yes. It is a journey. Writing is a journey. It is a skill. We have seen several people who talk very well. We have seen them, but they cannot write well. There are several people who write so well, they cannot talk well. It is very few people who can talk and write very well. That is a skill, actually. Now, the process writing is a big responsibility for the English teachers, and our children also struggle in writing. We have all heard our children writing, saying the mothers will know it. The mothers will be preparing their children so very well for examination. All right. And every question the mothers ask, the children will also be answering. Pakka, send them for examination. They write the examination, come back. When the mother asks them, did you write the exam well? Oh, badhiya. Can I ask you the questions? They ask the questions and they give the answers. But when the marks come, it would be only 50%. Then the mother is upset. There had been several parents who were sitting in front of me, crying, ma'am, मैं क्या करूं? इतना बोलता है, all the answers he knows, but when he writes the examination, he doesn't know where is the marks going. I also checked when he came from examination, he spoke to me very correct answers. So teacher kuch gadbad karta hoga. That is what they say. It is not the teachers are doing anything. It is not there in the paper. He is not able to write it on the paper. Teachers won't do any such harm. Okay, what is actually happening is that the mind, Dr. Chino will be able to very clearly speak authentically on it, that the mind thinks so fast, so very, very fast. But the neuromuscular coordination, the hands, likhna hai, that is not happening. The speed here is not passed on to the fingers. Okay, the muscular coordination. So what happens, the mind, as far as the child is concerned, the mind has done its job. Thinking part is over. Writing part has not taken place, which is not what is happening. That is why the teachers always tell the children, please do read your answers once again. After writing your answers, they say that this is the simple reason for that. Writing is such a skill. Okay. This process approach in writing, how is it related to life? Correct question. I can say that it is very much related to life. Any problem happens at home, let us say. What do? We do not jump into an action. We brainstorm, we think about it. Yeah, kaisa ho gaya? How is it happening? Could there be anything else? Okay, a solution. We can see a solution. Again, we will rework on the solution, revise it, refine it, draft it, and then implement it. And this is how we work at home. This is the same thing happen. Consistently making mistakes. The teachers have, some of the teachers, I will not generalize this statement, some of the teachers have a habit of telling the children, do not make a mistake. I would say make mistakes. You must make mistakes, because when you make consistently mistakes, you learn from that. The principle of naturalism, Rousseau talks to us like that only. The children need not be taught everything. They learn by making mistakes. So the children will learn from mistakes. The process approach in writing is telling you that committing mistakes in life is not a crime. You make mistakes, but only it becomes a crime when you do not learn from it. When you do not learn from the mistake and again repeat the same mistake, then it is a crime for you. Process approach is a path towards better writing. It is also a better writing of your life, and also for the confidence that you have to achieve. This is extremely important for you. Now, I want to we are about to close this. I want to tell you all these subjects. Each one of you teachers, you must be utilizing all the skills that you have, and some of you may be even incorporating values into children. But then, if it becomes a habit that every lesson in this universe comes to you with a value. It doesn't come to you only with a science concept or a math concept alone, but it comes with a value. Only thing, the teachers have to open their eyes and see what value it is. And today, what we have discussed is about self-confidence, which is so beautifully reflected in all the three topics. I would want to say something which V.S. Gandhekar, a Marathi writer, has written so beautifully, which has what Anita was narrating in the poem about dreams. I want to fly. That is a dream that she was mentioning. And something like on dreams, he's mentioning something. What he says is that dreaming is a habit of human being. It is not that always the dreams succeed. Sometimes it crumbles. All the dreams crumble. But human being is that one who still walks on the dreams. The broken pieces of the dreams, he still walks on it. He gets hurt himself. फिर भी आगे बढ़ता है, still dreaming for better things. That is a human being. And that is the kind of a confidence that you have to give to your children, my very dear teachers. Nothing will stand in front of a person who has self-confidence. Self-confidence is as though Bhagavan is there within you. You yourself are God, and so he is with you. That is what it is all about. I am winding up with a very small story. A bird flew down and sat on a tree. A weak branch of a dried, weak branch of a tree, the bird came and sat on it. The tree was very worried. The tree says, "Hello, friend, don't sit on it. It is one of the weakest branches of mine, and it may fall anytime. It may break anytime. I don't want you to get hurt. Here is another branch. You can sit on that." The bird looks at the tree and says, "Oh, my friend, thank you very much for your hospitality. But you know, I am not sitting on this weak branch, believing in your branch. I am sitting here believing on my wings. When your branch breaks, I have my wings, which will take off. So I will never touch the ground. Your weak branch may touch the ground, but I will not touch the ground. I have the wings." Like what Anita said, I have the wings. I have the wings of self-confidence. You have the wings of self-confidence. Your children have, everyone in this universe has the wings of self-confidence. You only need to practice flying and flying, flying and flying. Thank you very much, my very beloved teachers. Go teach your subjects, teach your children values, touch their lives. Thank you very much. God bless you.
थैंक यू सो मच विजय मैम, थैंक यू सो मच। और सिर्फ 2 लाइन में आपकी बात को एंड करूंगी कि मिटा दो मन के डर को, मिटा दो मन के डर को और हासिल करो आत्मविश्वास को। जीत लो जमीन को और झुका दो आसमान को। थैंक यू सो मच विजय मैम।
थैंक यू सो मच।
और अब एक विशेष उपलब्धि के बारे में आप सभी को मैं बताना चाहूंगी कि हेम वर्च्यूज अ लर्निंग रेवोल्यूशन में जिन बच्चों ने बड़ी ही रुचि एवं मनोयोग के साथ हमारे प्रथम मानवीय मूल्य अभय में सर्वाधिक गतिविधियों में भाग लेकर उन्हें पूर्ण किया, और ऐसे ही कुछ बच्चों को हम आज प्रोत्साहित करने जा रहे हैं, जिनके नाम हैं सिद्धेश काटकर, जो कि 9th स्टैंडर्ड का बच्चा है, रयान इंटरनेशनल स्कूल सानपाड़ा नवी मुंबई से। सिद्धेश काटकर।
Good evening, I'm Siddesh Katkar. I'm studying in 9th standard Ryan International School, Sanpada, Navi Mumbai. I came to know about him virtues by my mother, and then I just it's my mood, so I just registered myself for him virtues post web portal. And to be frank, I did that all practicals and quizzes for my points and that rank. But when I watched the videos and I was influenced by the videos, so I played all the videos and quizzes and did all the practicals. These were amazing activities and gave me immense pleasure and happiness. Not only these much value I got, I also got to know about the Ken puzzle and many more practicals which him virtues are uploading on the portal. And the new values which get uploaded every week, like fearless, curiosity, nature's love, etc., are really good for the students. These values help me a lot in my personal and educational life. Implementation of these values changed my behavior and my reaction, action and responsibilities. So I suggest all the students to make use of these HEM virtues and all the necessary values. It is really a revolutionary e-learning portal for students from all social economical strata. At last, I want to thank HEM virtues for creating a really good and useful website. Thank you.
थैंक यू सिद्धेश। दूसरा बच्चा है विधि बाबेल माहेश्वरी, माहेश्वरी गर्ल्स पब्लिक स्कूल से, भिलवाड़ा से। विधि बाबेल।
Good evening to all. This is Vidhi Babir from class 8 and I am very much afraid of water and height. Actually, I am very much afraid of accelerators. I am very much afraid. I am very much afraid of accelerators because I am even going to that and I am thinking that what? I am afraid. I may fall. I may not fall. All are thinking I may not fall, but I am thinking I may fall. So it is all about fear, and I am having very much fear of water because something is threatening me. Why I also don't know. Something is saying that yes, water is afraiding me, or like water is afraiding, like yeah, if I am going to swimming pools or any rivers. So of course I am afraid. I am thinking that I will be going down in the water because, and I have seen your video, it was very good, and I will be trying that. I may not afraid from water and height. Thank you.
तीसरी बच्ची है गुंजन अजमेरा, 5th स्टैंडर्ड से, महेश्वरी गर्ल्स पब्लिक स्कूल भिलवाड़ा से। अरविंद भैया, इन्होंने जो एक्टिविटी की है वो शेयर करिएगा। उसके बाद 4th बच्चा है जवेरिया हाशमी, 2nd ईयर बी फार्मा, DY पाटिल यूनिवर्सिटी, न्यू बॉम्बे। एंड द 5th वन अदनान राइन, 2nd ईयर बी फार्मा, DY पाटिल, नवी मुंबई। इस तरह से ये 5 बच्चे थे जिन्हें हमें प्रोत्साहन हेतु चुना था, और इन विजेता बच्चों को प्रेरणादायक पुस्तकें प्रोत्साहन हेतु भेजी जाएगी। और अब मैं इनवाइट करती हूँ डॉक्टर चीनू जी अग्रवाल को कि वे हमारे इन प्रतिभागी बच्चों को प्रोत्साहित करें। डॉक्टर चीनू जी अग्रवाल।
नमस्कार बच्चों, आप लोगों ने इतने अच्छे से सारी एक्टिविटीज में पार्टिसिपेट किया। हेम वर्च्यूज बनाने का, इस पोर्टल को लॉन्च करने का सारा हमारा जो उद्देश्य था, जो मेहनत थी, वो सफल हो गया। आप लोगों में से बच्चों का चयन करना बहुत मुश्किल था। हमारी जो चयनकर्ता टीम थी उसको बहुत मुश्किल हुई। हर एक बच्चे ने बहुत एंथुसियास्टिकली फियर वाली वीक की एक्टिविटीज में पार्टिसिपेट किया। बहुत अच्छी ड्राइंग्स और पोस्टर्स बनाए। उन्होंने हमें बताया कि पहले उनको किन चीज़ों का डर लगता था और फिर उसके बाद में कैसे इन वीडियोस को देखकर, मूवी को देखकर, एक्टिविटीज देखकर उन्हें ये प्रेरणा मिली कि हम भी अपने फियर्स को ओवरकम कर सकते हैं। और अगर आप ऐसा कर सकते हैं, फियरलेस बन सकते हैं, करेजियस बन सकते हैं, तो हमारा उद्देश्य पूरा हुआ। इसी तरह से मैं चाहती हूँ कि बच्चे आगे भी पूरे उत्साह से, जो हमारी आगे की मूवीज हैं, आशाएं अब आने वाली हैं, पिछली मूवीज जो जिज्ञासा थी या नीम प्लेट थी, उसको भी उतना ही प्यार दें, उनको देखें, उनकी सारी एक्टिविटीज सॉल्व करें। और अब से हम हर वेबिनार में इसी तरह से 5 बच्चों को सिलेक्ट करेंगे जो भी पूरी तन्मयता से सारी एक्टिविटीज को कंप्लीट करेंगे और अच्छी तरह से पार्टिसिपेट करेंगे। उनको हमारी तरफ से हर वीक इसी तरह से पुरस्कार मिलेंगे। तो मैं चाहती हूँ पेरेंट्स और टीचर्स भी बच्चों को सपोर्ट करें और थोड़ा सा टाइम इसके लिए जरूर निकालें। नमस्कार।
थैंक यू सो मच चीनू जी। और अब एक और विशेष उपलब्धि के बारे में आपको शेयर करूंगी कि बृहन मुंबई महानगर पालिका ने अपने पत्र दिनांक 16 अक्टूबर 2020 में घोषणा की है कि समस्त बीएमसी विद्यालयों तथा लगभग 2.5 लाख विद्यार्थियों को हेम वर्च्यूज में पंजीकृत करने का निर्देश दिया है। नैतिक मूल्यों को आत्मसात करने के हमारे यानी हेमा फाउंडेशन के मिशन को पूरा करने में ये एक मील का पत्थर साबित होगा। हम बीएमसी शिक्षण अधिकारी आदरणीय श्री महेश पालकर जी एवं उनकी संपूर्ण टीम का तहे दिल से साधुवाद देते हैं। बिना समय गवाए अब मैं आमंत्रित करती हूं हमारे आज के वेबिनार की मुख्य अतिथि, एक उत्कृष्ट शिक्षाविद एवं व्यवसायी श्रीमती सिमी शर्मा जी। आप ब्लूमिंग बर्ड्स प्ले स्कूल तथा एवलॉन हाइट्स इंटरनेशनल स्कूल की संस्थापक एवं निदेशक हैं। आपके मार्गदर्शन एवं नेतृत्व में स्कूल ने 2011 से निरंतर नवी मुंबई के शीर्ष 5 स्कूलों में अपना स्थान बनाए रखा है। हाल ही में आपने एक नई पहल का शुभारंभ किया है, थर्सडे मॉर्निंग मेडिटेशन, जिसमें पेरेंट्स भी ध्यान एवं आध्यात्मिक सत्र में सम्मिलित हो सकते हैं। आपकी उपलब्धियों में अनेक राष्ट्रीय एवं अंतरराष्ट्रीय नाम शामिल हैं। आपके प्रकाशन इनोवेशंस एंड प्रैक्टिसेस को इंटरनेशनल ऑफ इनोवेटिव रिसर्च एंड डेवलपमेंट 2016 इसको बहुत प्रसिद्धि मिली। आपने कैम्ब्रिज यूनिवर्सिटी के इंटरनेशनल एग्जामिनर की मुख्य प्रशिक्षक भी रही हैं। आपने शिक्षा में अभिभावकों की भूमिका इस विषय पर सही मायने में शिक्षा को समाज में ले जाने हेतु अनेक प्रशंसनीय कार्य किए हैं। हेमा फाउंडेशन आपकी उपलब्धियों को दिल से सराहना करते हैं और आप श्री की उपस्थिति को हम प्रणाम करते हैं और आपको मार्गदर्शन हेतु आमंत्रित करते हैं। सिमी शर्मा मैम।
थैंक यू सो मच। थैंक यू अनीता जी। आपने जिस तरह से उपलब्धियों का जिक्र किया है, मुझे भी लगने लगा कि उपलब्धियां हैं, इतनी है नहीं, लेकिन आपने बड़े प्यार से उन्हें सामने प्रस्तुत किया है। सो थैंक यू सो मच एंड यू नो इट्स रियली very beautiful moment for me. I'm humbled and inspired by the nobility and depth and sincerity of the Hema Foundation, endeavors. And it's really beautiful to be here. So my, borrowing from Dr. Vijayam, my pranam to all the office bearers here. And my great salutations to Dr. Vijayam, who has been my ideal and mentor. And, I have simply been following her footsteps. So in front of stalwarts like, Dr. Vijayam or Dr. Nair and so many more people, I think you read a long list. I am definitely not a chief guest. I am happy to be invited here as a, appreciator and admirer of such virtuous endeavors. And trust me, I was really not expecting to speak last, let me put it this way, not expecting to speak after Dr. Vijayam, because that really needs self-confidence. So you have really put my self-confidence to test now, because I thought I will get done with it and then people can have a good one, later. So now, obviously my preparations have been rattled, so please bear with me. And, I basically wanted to talk, in terms of setting the stage about values in general. I'm sure we would all agree that in this day and age, the struggle that we have as parents and teachers is not about children's learning. It's about children's character. And it's so very important that, the character education and morality is so critical need of the hour today that it needs to be brought to the heart of 21st century education. And like rightly pointed out by Dr. Vijayam, we are so grateful to our Prime Minister for the new education policy that brings the concept of Indianization and citizenship to the center stage of an educational framework, to be able to appreciate our own mother tongue, not be embarrassed in speaking in our mother tongue and, be accepted is something that every Indian needs to learn, to be proud of being an Indian. And we at Avalon are, very, very passionately sort of working towards turning this dream into reality. We all understand that values is a very difficult matter. It's not easy to teach. It's not a subject that can be taught. It is a spirit, an attitude to be carried and adopted in everything we do and everything we teach. And I'm sure that, today we have learned so much from Dr. Vijayam, who has thrown little light on, different aspects of the same. because it's so important for every teacher to understand that, values are like the salt. Salt is not a separate dish. It is something that is added to every dish. And the only thing we need to know is how to add, how much to add, and in what quantity. That's the skill that we need to master. And I am very appreciative of the work that HEMA Foundation is doing, a very, very exceptional work in this line, because today's digital era, what movies can do to inspire you, I think no other medium can. Movies is something that comes closest to the real life simulations, and has this immense potential to inspire. And I really love the part that all your services are free. I understand that commercials are also very important and critical, but sometimes commercials tend to hijack, the purpose and agenda, and sometimes the commercials become the agenda. So it's a really, really, noble and, phenomenal service that you guys are doing to humanity. And I really bow to you and salute to you. And I would be very, very happy to open up our school to these programs as well. Talking about confidence, I'll say that these days, the values that we live and the way we live is a little bit confused. We have a lot of, the social media and all the platforms are filled with quotations and messages and statements and virtues, and people use them as convenient. The real meaning of character and integrity has become a little bit elastic, a little bit flexible. So, there is a very thin line that one draws between self-worth and self-centeredness, or like you said, self-esteem, and then being self-absorbed, So I think it's really important to, dig deep into what they really, really stand for. If we go back in the days, when I was thinking about it, I thought, if you really have to look at some great men of morals, we might have to go back a little bit about, 50, 70, 80 years back. And that's when we find that, most of the great men that we read about today, they were born in either early 20th century or late 19th century. Whether you look at Mahatma Gandhi or you look at, Swami Vivekananda, Mother Teresa, these are the people who were born around that era. And what happened after that? Somewhere we have forgotten the good old values. I was, today it is very difficult for children to really find, a good role model, because values are not learned by, like I said, they are not taught, they are only caught, and they are caught from people who live them. And children need to witness these people who live these values and have to have these models around them. So these contagion of values, people who spread this infection have to be there, just like coronavirus. One man in the city is enough to spread it to the entire town like wildfire. Similarly, for values, that one man is enough who can actually, display and live these values for children to see and emulate. And we cannot do much with children unless we do work on ourselves as parents and as teachers, because the problem is the lack of these models. The problem is our confused and blurred understanding of value system, which makes the children very, very confused and unclear about what to follow, what not to follow. So as teachers, we are the makers of tomorrow's nation, tomorrow's world, tomorrow's universe. We have a huge responsibility on our shoulders. And the problem is that we struggle with our own values, but we can't blame, I'm not trying to blame ourselves, because we also are a product of our own upbringing, our own conditioning, our social programming, our parental programming. And therefore, to bring these models of values is a daunting challenge. It's a sort of a vicious circle that really needs to be broken. We need to start relooking at our own values and our own ways of being. Because lasting peace is not going to come through the money you have, the you know, how good we look, how famous we are, how talented we are, how many likes we get on Facebook, how many followers we have. Lasting peace will come only from being true to yourself, being at peace within. None of us are talking or pointing in the direction of the inner world of the children at all. We are trying to fill their lives with things and outer accomplishments and say, hey, how well you did this, how well you did that, not realizing that every accomplishment that they have and every clap and pat that they are earning on their back is temporary, is short-lived, is not going to give them lasting peace. We have forgotten those good old values, you know, when our parents actually taught us to stay away from appreciation because it stops you and it robs you. It robs you of what you have, the drive that you have, the things that gear you up. They always told us to stay away from praise and embrace criticism. Today, we all actively live this and also teach this to our children, to stay away from criticism and embrace praise. Criticism is seen as damaging, capable of crushing, destroying individuals. And so, you know, as psychologists and therapists, we go all the lengths to state how to stay away from it, not allow it to sink and not allow it to damage us. But actually, what criticism destroys is not you. It destroys your ego. Criticism nourishes your soul and strengthens your inner essence. I think here it is very important to really look at the word Atma Vishwas. Atma Vishwas is coming from Atma. Okay. And if we really want to talk about Atma, it comes not from ego. It comes from your, you know, true self, your inner self. And when we are trying to raise our children, protecting their egos too much, we are raising egoistic and egotistic children, you know, and human beings. And so is what we are becoming. I love this one little anecdote I read about John McCain's book. You know, he has written Character is Destiny. And he shares how his mother, who was probably 92 at that time, and this gentleman was about 65 or something, he says, someone asked my mother, how do you feel that John is on television and he's so famous and he's doing so well, and, you know, people just know about him and he's, you know, doing so well. How do you feel about that? And she retorts and says, you know, fools' names and fools' faces are often seen in public places. It is not that she's trying to pull him down or insult him. She's only giving a clear message as a wise parent that this is insignificant and unimportant. You know, in the lopsided worldview that we have created around us, to put things back in place is going to take a humongous effort, because it's going to take someone to pause, think, rethink, and look deep at what we are doing. You know, as teachers, can we model how to be gracious with criticism and rather be grateful for it and avoid praise that makes our egos bloat? Can we model patience with children, with colleagues, with parents? Can we model generosity to give more than we receive, whether it is in serving our children or whether it is in serving the institution that we are serving? As parents, you know, can we stop writing 5-page long mails to justify our child's attempt at cheating because it was just an attempt and it was a failed attempt and he did not succeed in cheating and therefore he should be given marks? Or rather stand firm in condemning the attempt itself as non-acceptable and unworthy act? Can we be grateful to those who present tough experiences to our children and not those who mollycoddle them to keep their egos blossoming? Can we be patient with our children? Can we accept them? Because their values are a reflection of our values. You know, it is very important that our children understand, if you want to give a clear message that morals is, you know, better than marks, then it's very important that we tell the children that with marks, you might get the extrinsic rewards, but it's with morals that you sleep well and you have a happy heart. And unless we start talking like this, unless we start using this language, we're not going to be able to change anything. I will just share a small story. It's a Sioux Indian parable. I'm sure you all would have heard that, you know, one day the creator called a meeting of all his creation. And he said, you know what? I want to hide from human beings their happiness, or let's call it their self-confidence. Okay. And, you know, in the original version, it says, I want to hide from the human beings the realization that they are the ones who create their own reality. And he says, I want to hide it so that they find it only at the time when they are mature to understand it. So the eagle said, no problem, give it to me. I will take it high in the sky and I will hide it on the moon, and they won't find it there. But the creator said, no, they'll reach moon one day, I'm sure, and they'll find it there. So the salmon said, okay, give it to me. I'll take it deep under the ocean and I'll hide it there. The creator said, no, I'm sure they'll reach deep under the ocean one day and they'll find it. So the bull said, okay, give it to me. I'll hide it under the ground in the Great Plains. So the creator said, no, they'll find it there. And then there was this grandma mole, you know, who had no eyes, and she saw only through her spiritual eyes. And she says, hey, why don't you hide it in them? And the creator said, yeah, done. The realization that we create our own destiny is within us. Our confidence is within us. Our happiness, our wisdom, our peace is within us. It's a matter of realizing that we stop looking for approval from others, in realizing that all I need to be confident, successful, happy, to have true confidence is to be true to myself, to my own. You know, now again, this word true to myself is misconstrued by people. Say, oh, I'm being true to myself. It doesn't mean being true to your temptations, being true to your desires, being true to your, you know, ego. It means being true to your conscience. If you can be true to your conscience, then confidence is not about being right or looking good or being seen as capable. It is about not fearing being wrong, not fearing the insults. It's not about external. It's not about the teacher humiliated me. Confidence is about the fact that anybody humiliates me, can I still be okay because I'm true within my conscience? I know what I'm doing with myself. Being comfortable, even looking bad or being seen as less capable, because confidence is not about impressing others or making an impression on people. Confidence is about, again and again, I repeat, being true to ourselves. And I think with that, I would really thank again all of you for having me over and giving this opportunity to share my views. Thank you so much.
थैंक यू सो मच सिमी मैम। हम आगे बढ़े उससे पहले एक और विशेष सूचना आप सभी के लिए कि हेमा फाउंडेशन द्वारा संचालित एक और कार्यक्रम हेम शिखर में प्रमुख अतिथि के रूप में श्री विश्वनाथ जी आनंद, जो चेस चैंपियन हैं, उनके साथ एक टॉक 1 नवंबर को 5 बजे रखा गया है। जिन विद्यालयों ने हेम वर्च्यूज में रजिस्टर करवाया है उनके लिए एक ये सुनहरा अवसर है। जिन बच्चों ने चेस में डिस्ट्रिक्ट लेवल या उसके ऊपर के चेस कॉम्पिटिशन्स में पार्टिसिपेट किया है, उनमें से लकी ड्रॉ के द्वारा चुने 5 स्टूडेंट को श्री विश्वनाथ जी आनंद के साथ हम लोग इंटरैक्शन का मौका देंगे। और स्कूल, जितने भी स्कूल्स हैं हमारे साथ रजिस्टर, उनको हमने गूगल फॉर्म ईमेल कर दिया है और सोमवार तक, मंडे तक आप लोगों को ये फॉर्म हमें सबमिट कर देना है। सो थैंक यू सो मच। और बिना टाइम वेस्ट किए मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ हमारे आज के वेबिनार के विशिष्ट अतिथि, शिक्षा जगत में एक परफेक्ट एजुकेशनिस्ट के नाम से जाने जाने वाले आदरणीय डॉक्टर सुरेश नायर जी, जिनका शिक्षा एवं सामाजिक उपलब्धियों का लगभग 35 वर्ष का कार्यकाल स्वर्णिम उपलब्धियों से परिपूर्ण रहा है। वर्तमान में आप श्री विवेक विद्यालय एवं जूनियर कॉलेज में प्राचार्य के पद पर कार्यरत हैं। आप श्री को शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में किए गए कार्यों के लिए अनेक पुरस्कारों से नवाजा गया है। महाराष्ट्र सरकार द्वारा सर्वश्रेष्ठ अध्यापक पुरस्कार, साइंस ओलंपियाड का द्वारा श्रेष्ठ प्रिंसिपल अवार्ड, इंस्पिरेशनल अवार्ड, अब्राहम लिंकन अवार्ड, 19th ज्वाला अवार्ड आदि अनेक पुरस्कारों से आप श्री सम्मानित हैं। आपकी विशेषता है कि शिक्षा के साथ आपने सामाजिक संस्थाओं में भी अपना सहयोग निर्बाध रूप से जारी रखा है। आप श्री अयप्पा सेवा संगठन, सबरीमाला अयप्पा सेवा समाज, मलयालम मिशन, श्री बालाजी सेवा संगठन आदि में अपनी सेवाएं निरंतर प्रदान करते रहते हैं। हेमा फाउंडेशन आपकी उपस्थिति को प्रणाम करता है और आपको मार्गदर्शन हेतु आमंत्रित करता है। डॉक्टर सुरेश नायर जी।
Thank you, Anita ji, for wonderful introduction about me. I was always looking outside myself for strength and confidence, but it comes from within. It's there all the time. Fall in love with yourself so deeply that you would do just about anything. You will find where it is. Honorable keynote speaker of the day, Dr. Vijayam Ravi, chief guest, Mrs. Simi Sharma, all the office bearers of Hema Foundation, Anita ji, Kabra ji, and all people associated with the Hema Foundation, all the supporters of today's event, my close friend, Dr. Narayan Abhi Iyer, principals, teachers, students, and all the viewers of this program. A very good evening to all of you. In fact, when Vijayam Madam started saying the story about her, her schooling, then going to the college and all the things, I was just thinking that why she's telling my story over here, because it exactly replicates my story also. So many of the people coming from Kerala, now I'm not saying only from Kerala, but our condition was like that only. But we come over here, maybe due to some self-confidence in us, and by the grace of God, we are reaching to the heights by the grace of God. At the outset, I take this opportunity to thank Hema Foundation for giving me this marvelous opportunity to be a part of this wonderful event. In fact, I would like to appreciate Hema Foundation for their selfless effort of spreading human values among the society, especially the children. I like the posts which come every day as you Hema virtues in the group with certain human values to remember. I think Mrs. Hetal Desai is sending it. Thank you very much, madam. How apt today's theme, winning with self-confidence, is in today's worst scenario, which saps our energy, constrains our sense of hope. Here, I must admire and appreciate the designer who took great effort in boosting our self-confidence at this juncture, where we are battling with this unprecedented threat of COVID-19, which has not left any country untouched. It has disrupted us completely, draining our moral strength, leaving with us only the insecurity. The term social distancing has created a wide crack between us. This once-in-a-century pandemic has hammered a critical lesson. Do we have with us our self-confidence? I feel it is the right time to instill into ourselves about winning self-confidence. At this crucial time, most of our confidence levels go up and down, even the most confident-seeming people. I'm sure that today's event will get us back our self-confidence, which will help us move forward to discover and develop our capabilities. When we see what we are capable of and take pride in our achievements, definitely our confidence will get even stronger. Recently, I happened to watch the program Paricha Pe Charcha by our Prime Minister, Shri Narendra Modi. He said, self-confidence comes by challenging ourselves and working hard. What does he want to stress is, challenges, whether they are big or small, mundane or extraordinary, challenge yourself to make a list of all the things within your control. I'm sure you will surprise yourself with how much will be in that list based on our confidence. Our social life has grounded to us to a halt. Fear and uncertainty are rampant. Anxiety thrives on the unknown. We all have become accustomed to stability and predictability. Fear made us feel powerless. While we cannot control our feelings, our thoughts, or the actions, we are not powerless. Shifting our attention towards these aspects of life that you can control can help restore our sense of confidence. I firmly believe that today's eloquent speaker, Dr. Mrs. Vijayam Ravi, must have given you the confidence through her inspirational talk. Let me conclude here with a message that you be a flower that does not think of competing the flower next to it. It just blooms with the confidence to live it to the fullest and spread happiness. Once again, I thank you all for giving me this wonderful opportunity. Jai Hind, Jai Maharashtra.
थैंक यू सो मच सर। और अब चलते हैं हम समापन की ओर। मैं आमंत्रित करती हूँ हेमा फाउंडेशन के प्रबंध न्यासी आदरणीय श्री महेंद्र जी काबरा को कि वे उपस्थित वेबिनार में उपस्थित सभी गणमान्य अतिथिगणों का, सभी शिक्षाविदों का एवं सभी जिज्ञासुओं का हृदय के अंतःस्थल से आभार व्यक्त करें। श्री महेंद्र।
नमस्कार, आप सभी का मानव मूल्यों को समर्पित इस वेबिनार कार्यक्रम में सहयोग और समर्थन देने के लिए हृदय से मैं आभार प्रकट करता हूं। आज की हमारी मुख्य अतिथि आदरणीय श्रीमती सीवी शर्मा जी का उनके प्रेरणादायी उद्बोधन, साथ ही हमारे विशिष्ट अतिथि डॉक्टर सुरेश नायर जी द्वारा मार्गदर्शन का, आप दोनों का मैं हृदय से धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। आज की हमारी प्रमुख वक्ता डॉक्टर विजयम रवि जी ने बहुत ही सरलता से विज्ञान, गणित व अंग्रेजी जैसे सर्व सामान्य विषयों से कैसे हम मजबूत और विश्वासी बन सकते हैं, ये बखूबी समझाया और मैं उनका बहुत धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं। हेम वर्चू एक्टिविटीज में अपनी कला और रचनात्मक सोच का उत्कृष्ट प्रदर्शन करने वाले सभी 5 विजेताओं को बधाई देता हूं और आप ऐसे ही एक्टिविटीज को करते रहेंगे, इसके लिए शुभकामना व्यक्त करता हूं। आज के हमारे सभी गणमान्य अतिथि का अपना अमूल्य समय देने के लिए मैं धन्यवाद व्यक्त करता हूं और आप सबको आमंत्रित करता हूं कि हेम वर्चू के इस कार्यक्रम के साथ जुड़े रहिए और मानव मूल्य की इस यात्रा को आगे बढ़ाइए। धन्यवाद।
पुनश्च आप सभी का हार्दिक धन्यवाद, आभार, सभी को मेरा प्रणाम। जीवन मूल्यों के जो 9 जीवन मूल्यों का हमारा क्रम है, उसी क्रम में हमारी अगली एवं 5वीं कड़ी के प्रथम भाग का विषय है लिविंग विथ होप, जिसे आपको मनोवैज्ञानिक तरीके से समझाने आएंगी देश की जानी मानी मनोवैज्ञानिक एवं मनोचिकित्सक आदरणीय डॉक्टर चीनू अग्रवाल जी। अगले बुधवार 28 अक्टूबर समय ठीक 5 बजे से लिविंग विथ होप। और अब हम आज्ञा लेते हैं इसी मनोभाव के साथ कि भविष्य में भी आप सभी का सहयोग, अपेक्षित सहयोग निरंतर हमें इसी प्रकार मिलता रहेगा। आप सभी स्वस्थ रहें, व्यस्त रहें एवं सदैव मस्त रहें। जय हिंद, जय भारत, वंदे मातरम।